Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with the Atakline for Monday, December the 10th, 2012. Everybody had a great weekend this past weekend. I know I did have a good weekend with 2 DJ gigs this week. Of course, DJ Zack Attack, me on the road again. Kicking off this past Friday with my return to Wilkinson Middle School. This past May, I returned to Wilkinson, my first ever middle school I DJ'd for, after being away for 5 years at their prom on May 25th. And I felt so happy about that show that they were happy with me so much as well. They wanted me back, and I returned this past Friday for their Christmas dance. Not as packed as it was. Prom had more people because it was, the big middle school prom. Never heard of a middle school doing prom. It's weird. But Christmas dance, still a good show. We were not allowed to use our lights because of people with epilepsy issues. I would not be surprised if they said that the person who had epilepsy didn't even show up. Because, like I said, it was not that many people, but it was still a fun show. It was an inner city school. So, basically a lot of rap. Rap dominated the evening. I had to rearrange my entire show because every time I played a pop song, or anytime people asked me what was next, and I mentioned a pop song, they gave me a mad look. And it was weird that I played those exact same songs that they grossed out to, whether it's Sexy and I Know It, or Call Me Maybe, threatened by puking, or leaving the building. Well, kind of playful, but still kind of threatening. I played those same songs last month, did good well. And it was so bad, I even had to cut Taylor Swift, because I didn't know how bad of a reception was going to get. Because, like I said, it was inner city school. It was different with a lot of, kids who like rap. So, anyway, but it was still a fun show. The rap, like I said, ruled over. I know they did like Gangnam Style, though. Gangnam Style was popular with everybody. Didn't matter what race you were. Black, white, or whatever. They loved the Gangnam Style. But the rap dominated most of the evening, but it was still a fun show. And also, this past Saturday, day after Wilkinson, it was supposed to be a doubleheader on Saturday, but my doubleheader got canceled at the last second. I was going to do a Saturday morning show that got canceled the last minute from Alpha Middle, although I'm negotiating for another show with them right now, which I cannot explain because it's only tentative. But we did have a show Saturday that I have been hiding info for, but now I've officially announced that I can do it because it was a surprise birthday party for Debbie Knox, who is a friend of my #1 customer. Who we've done a lot of shows, not just for her, but for her friends, especially Knox, Man Morellen. Like the Wilkinson show, now a lot of people thought there would be more people there because there's, Man Morellen's friend, and Morellens and their friends are always party people, but not a lot of them showed up, but I think all of them were ready for New Year's Eve because I know I'll be at the New Year's Eve party for one of their friends that'll be there. But it was another fun night as well. They loved it. A lot of dancing. I think it ended like 12:30, probably one of the earliest times we've ever ended a Morellen-related party, whether it's her or one of her friends. So there you go. It was a fun weekend. 2 great gigs. I had 3 gigs, including one, yes, tomorrow. I have a gig tomorrow night. So he's probably no Atakline. And I have a gig Friday and next Sunday. 6 days from now. We got a lot of Christmas stuff. A lot of holiday-related events. Holiday, staff party, tomorrow. For the woman that brought me back to Wilkinson, Miss Kim Clanton, who I know is on here. The special needs dance, Christmas related, and a Christmas gala for Witham Point Dance Academy for the 4th year in a row on Sunday the 16th. By Miss TLC. Of course, talk about WWE in a minute. But right now, with DJ Zack Attack news out of the way, time to, of course, go with the entertainment news of the day. Starting with your #1 movie. With not a lot of competition this week, Skyfall returned to #1 this week with only a $15 million ticket. With not much competition and with Christmas right around the corner, it was a bad week for box office, but this upcoming weekend should be a big week, as of course, Twilight may be dead, but coming back from the dead this Friday, to my dismay, because I hate this saga, the LOTR series, Lord of the Rings, is back from the dead, with of course the prequel, The Hobbit, premiering this Friday in theaters, expected to make a big impact on the holiday box office. So there you go. Now on with news, It's been a great time to be a member or at least a fan of the Rolling Stones, especially if you live in London, who had 2 shows with the Stones over Thanksgiving week, like past Thanksgiving, and for those who live in New York, because this past weekend Rolling Stones performed their 3rd show out of 5 as they performed at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn with several special guests, including Florence of Florence Machine. I think Mary J. Blige also appeared as well during that show in Barclays. There have been many special guests coming to those shows. Of course, this Wednesday, Rolling Stones, since they're going to be in town for the 2 shows at the Prudential Center, which I'll get the news of special guests for that final show in a moment. They've been added to the 12-12-12 concert over the weekend at Madison Square Garden this upcoming Wednesday night to be joining with Chris Martin of Coldplay, Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters, Roger Waters, The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, Kanye West, among many, many others for that concert be telecasted and broadcasted all over the world on various TV stations and radio stations and internet. So, and of course, besides doing the 12-12 concert, I mentioned Stones are doing the last 2 concerts of the tour, unless they add more, hopefully. The 13th and the 15th, 2 shows at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. Now, of course, the 15th, next Saturday, will be the final show to be broadcast as a pay-per-view as produced by, as we all know now, the WWE. There's going to be a lot of things going on, including a free pre-show on Yahoo's also broadcasting on a pay-per-view online. And they've announced the special guest for that show, the Prudential final show, Bruce Springsteen, Lady Gaga, and the Black Keys will join the Stones for the final night at the Prudential on the 15th on pay-per-view. So there you go. Stones added the 12-12-12 concert, plus announced special guests for the show at the Prudential Center on the 15th. No one who will appear on the 13th. So there you go. And hopefully add more dates, Stones. DETROIT. Now on news on a woman who is definitely touring next year, Miss Taylor Swift. Now this week is her birthday week. Today, a little side note, happy birthday Nicki Minaj. I think today's her birthday. But anyway, Taylor Swift's birthday is this upcoming Thursday, December 13th. Of course, her lucky number. To celebrate her birthday, MTV's got a big week of related things to Taylor, leading up to the premiere of her brand new video, I Knew You Were Trouble, the 3rd video off of Red, premiering on Thursday on her birthday at 4:40 p.m. on MTV and, of course, MTV.com. Of course, airing an interview with Taylor following the event probably, and, of course, you'll be featured in an interview on Wednesday as part of MTV's big 8-hour 12-12-12 broadcast to bring you the best of 2012. Like performances and year-end list, of course, the multi-channel simulcast involving CMT, BET, and Comedy Central along with MTV. So there you go. Taylor Swift, birthday week to be celebrated with the premiere of a new video, I Knew You Were Trouble, on Thursday. Her birthday, 12/13. Now, on with sports. Starting with my thoughts on the NFL in week number 14. Well, typical Lions did it again. Tom Petty always said, even the losers get lucky sometimes. But unfortunately, the loser Lions didn't get lucky again. Once again, blew a first quarter lead and got their asses beat by the Packers on Sunday Night Football nonetheless, without even the best players, with a lot of the players injured, like Goldie Nelson, and even Clay Matthews still being out. The Packers dominated 27-20, fighting ever for the Lions, but once again lose the Lions again. But it was an emotional win for the Cowboys, following the loss of the linebacker in a tragic car crash, Mr. Jerry Brown. They won an intense game against the Cincinnati Bengals 2019. One of my other beloved team besides the Lions when they're actually winning. The Bears suffered a big loss. Got their butts whipped by the Vikings. 14-21 victory of the Vikings. Isn't it weird that the Bears beat the Vikings 2 weeks ago in Chicago? And 2 weeks later, after losing to Seattle last week, they lost to the Vikings this week in Minnesota. And next week, they get the Packers. And probably with a full roster. With probably Clay Matthews coming back. Although I think Jay got a nasty hit, but not a concussion, thank God. So Jay won't miss any more games. Also, Broncos already in the playoffs. Got a win over the Oakland Raiders. The Steelers, despite having the returning Ben Roethlisberger, still lost to the San Diego Chargers 34-24. And Redskins, even without their quarterback, RG3 getting injured, they won 31-28, while the Panthers got a huge upset over the 11-2 Houston Texans, 20-10 or 20-30, and Jets won. So that's seeing going up. As of course, it is an exciting time for football, seeing who gets in the playoffs and who doesn't. So we'll see what some exciting games going on in the next couple of weeks for the NFL. Now with results of two events that I missed over the weekend due to gigs and because I don't watch the stream. Well, I tried, but it failed. UFC on Fox over the weekend on Saturday. Of course, I had my surprise birthday party, so I missed UFC yet again. But of course, main event of that UFC card on Fox as Benson Henderson defeated Nate Diaz by unanimous decision to retain the UFC Lightweight Championship. Who's next? Will Pettis finally get a shot against the champ? Especially the guy who beat Benson for the WEC Championship. We'll see what goes down there. Meanwhile, Alexander Gustafsson also defeated in the unanimous decision Mauricio Shogun Hua. While BJ Penn in his return match from retirement lost to Roy McDonald by unanimous decision as well. All three out of the main card fights went to a 3 or 5 rounder. Well, in second round action, in the first fight, Matt Brown defeated Mike Swick by knockout by punches. In the fight of the night, honor went to the preliminary fight on the Facebook page. Scott Jorgensen defeating John Abbott in the bantamweight division, while Yves Edwards, another prelim guy, got the knockout of the night. In submission of the night went to Jorgensen, who indeed won the fight of the night honors as well. And also last night was TNA's pay-per-view Final Resolution, taking place, of course, last night in Orlando. Basically, everybody retained the titles. Before I get to that, James Storm in a impromptu match with Kazarian got the victory in a surprise first impromptu fight as James Storm began by calling out Robert Roode. Got Kaz instead, impromptu fight as Storm defeated Kaz in a decent, quick matchup from what I read. Then I tried to watch the stream during the X Division title match, but failed. It was RVD defeating Kenny King despite Kenny's best efforts. RVD apparently gets the victory. And like I said, everyone retained the titles. Chavo Hernandez defeated Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan, retaining their tag titles. Tara, with a little help from Jesse, distracting Mickie James from retaining the Knockouts Championship. Of course, with Velvet Sky back in the saddle, Tara better watch your back. And of course, Jeff Hardy defeated Bobby Roode. Despite Ace and Eights coming out to distract Hardy, Hardy got the win anyway by defeating Bobby Roode. And even Bobby Roode got attacked by Ace and Eights after the fight. Of course, if we saw last week on Impact, Roode paid off Ace and Eights to attack Hardy. But unfortunately, Ace and Eights' attack wasn't enough to weaken Hardy to retain the title like he did on last night's pay-per-view. Another non-title action, Christopher Daniels, with no help from Kaz, defeated AJ Styles, with AJ continuing his losing slump. Of course, AJ's been through a lot in the last couple of months. Nail in the coffin with no title shot until Battle for Glory 2013. And an 8-man tag where Gary Bischoff, Samoa Joe, Wes Briscoe, and Kurt Angle fighting against Ace and Ace. Which I heard was Devon, Doc, and I heard 2 of the masked men, even D'Lo Brown, I heard was one of the Ace and Ace members. Maybe we'll find out more about why Al Snow wasn't at Impact. Maybe D'Lo Brown must have done something, because he apparently is a member of Ace and Ace, apparently. This whole Ace and Ace storyline is getting old. We need to get moving on it, on whose mask is what, and if Jeff Jarrett's involved. And also, with help from Brooke Hogan, the distraction, Austin Aries got the victory over Bully Ray after a low blow with referee distracted with Brooke Hogan. And Bully distracted too, because this Bully Ray Brooke Hogan storyline continues to confuse us and disturb us, kind of. But we'll see what happens with that storyline. It's Austin Aries gets the victory in that match. And that is, of course, the TNA Fighter Resolution results. Next pay-per-view is Genesis. And I think that's the limited pay-per-views, the dropping pay-per-views down. That's what WWE should do. I think they're going to do Genesis. I think they'll have nothing else until Lockdown, which is in March this year in San Antonio. Now, speaking of WWE, on to Raw. The final Raw before TLC take place tonight at the arena where the Rolling Stones will be this week, as I mentioned, the Prudential Center, New Jersey. Top 4 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 4. When is there going to be any Slammies this year? Now, around this time of year, near the end of the year, the Slammies usually take place around this time, and it's usually a 3-hour show now, 3-hour walls now, what goes down there, but no Slammies this week, maybe Slammies next week, because they may want to do TLC. But if there is Slammies, we may find out about them tonight. If they're not any Slammies tonight, or next week, or whatever, we'll see if it's discontinued permanently or not. Question number 3. Will Vince and or CM Punk make appearances? Now, there's been rumors about Vince McMahon making an appearance. Of course, as we all know by now, the TLC main event has been changed. Although I'm hearing Punk, despite having knee surgery over the week, he's saying he may be healthy enough to wrestle at TLC. But, of course, WWE didn't want him to risk the chance of another injury. As, of course, we know it will now be a 6-man TLC match to replace the WWE title match between Ryback and Punk, which I'm hearing may take place another time, maybe on a big Raw in January, because they don't want to have it the Rumble, since, of course, as we all know, The Rock gets the title shot. So, there you go. Will one of them appear, Vince or Punk? Time will tell. Question number 2. It's a tie for number 2, actually. It's like a tie. Question 2, part 1. Will any other new matches be made for TLC? Well, knowing WWE and their way on managing last-minute matches for pay-per-view days before it with no hype, I won't be surprised if they do add anything. Especially watch the pre-show match on YouTube. Probably that will be announced tonight. And maybe other matches. And also what will happen between Cena and Ziggler. Now, of course, their match at TLC is now a ladder match with Ziggler's Money in the Bank on the line. As I mentioned last week, my bold prediction is the winner of Cena Ziggler will cash in Money in the Bank that night on the World Champ. So, there you go. See if Cena and Ziggler get into some sort of fight tonight. And I kind of predicted, also probably last week, about a big tag match. But I think that may have to be changed. I think I predicted Cena teaming up with Sheamus and Ryback against Punk, Big Show, and Ziggler. But now with Punk out, maybe that dream match I predicted won't happen. But, of course, that leads us to question number 1. What happened tonight between The Shield and Team Hell No and Ryback? As, of course, we all know now, 6-man TLC tag match to replace Ryback and Punk with Punk's injury. It'll be Team Hell No, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Kane and Daniel Bryan, teaming up with Ryback against The Shield. Of course, The Shield has been attacking not just Ryback within the last couple of weeks, but also in the last 2 weeks, attacking Kane and Daniel Bryan. Of course, they've been accused of being in cahoots with CM Punk, denying all the accusations, but it just seems too clear that they are working in some way with Punk and Heyman. They're attacking Punk's enemies, Ryback and Kane and Daniel Bryan. And with the 6-man tag happening this upcoming Sunday, in a last-minute fashion, what kind of hype they will build for this match with the fact that it's a last-minute replacement for the WWE title match for TLC now canceled. We'll see what happens as we head towards TLC tonight on Raw at 8 on USA Network. That is it for my Atakline for today. See you for my Raw review tonight. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the news from Zach. Thank you all so much for watching. See you later. Yeah.